Welcome to Hair Queen LA. My name is Nathan, and today we are joined with the beautiful, lovely, gorgeous Sasha Colby. She is from Hawaii originally. She is a former Miss Continental, won in 2012, and is currently on season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to even have you here and even just be in your presence. I have watched you for years performing and just being drag excellence just for forever. So being here is just a delight for me.
Oh, it's a pleasure for me as well. So thank you. Thank you so
Perfect.
much. Love it.
So Sasha came in a little bit earlier. She got her hair done. She got a wig installed.
I mean, just a little, a little 2000 J-Lo moments. I'm loving it.
It's
Love
fantastic,
it.
literally gorgeous. We tried on a few different options. We did some pink, we did some long, we did some orange, and we finally got this one, and I think it looks gorgeous.
Yes, I love it.
Perfect.
Love it.
Happy customer, happy Nathan.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, let's get into the interview, shall we?
Let's dive in.
Perfect. So, you're from Hawaii originally, yes. So, how long were you there in Hawaii before you actually came to the States?
Let's see. I grew up in Hawaii, so born and raised in this small town that has like one road going through it.
Okay.
Grew up there in about 18, 19 after I graduated high school. Moved to Las Vegas for a bit, then moved to Chicago. Was there for 6 to 7 years when I won Miss Continental. And I've been now in LA for about 10 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been a citizen of the world.
Perfect. So when you were in Hawaii, you said you're from a small town. I can't imagine there to be like too big of a gay or queer communities. What was that like being there?
Well, being from a small town in Hawaii, it's kind of good and bad because even though it's a small town, Hawaii, the island, like Oahu where I'm from, is very small as well. So there definitely was a lot of like queer, a lot of trans influences if I just got out of my little one town.
Sure.
But yeah, it like Hawaii is very much of a melting pot. That's how I, realized at an early age I was trans, and as an early age that I loved performing and doing drag. And in Hawaii, trans drag is drag, so there wasn't really a difference between whatever performer you were.
Sure.
Just drag was art.
That's wonderful because I know a lot of kids, depending on where they are in America or even the world, they have very different experiences.
Yes.
Where they don't even have something to look at or have inspiration to pull from. They're just like, what's going on?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So would you say that you pulled inspiration from the different artists around you, or were there specific people who you looked up to?
Well, I mean, I think like most kids, we have celebrities that we look up to. There was definitely a lot of queer-coded celebrities back when I was growing up, like in the 90s, that they didn't necessarily say that you were gay, but there were obviously gay characters. There was a lot of gay characters like in Tu Wong Fu and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So luckily when I grew up, it was still a comedy aspect to drag, where right now having something like Tu Wong Fu come out now in this political time might have people picketing, which is kind of wild to think about. Something that was like a family comedy is now something that's politicized.
Right. So you said you realized from a younger age that you were trans. So when you were younger, did you dabble in makeup, hair, when you were younger, did you pop on a wig and twirl around? Were you dipping in your mom's makeup? How was that?
Definitely. I just grew up in even at age 5, I remember going to kindergarten, and I just kind of felt like a girl. And when you start growing up and you're like, oh, how come I don't have long hair like the other girls? You're trying to figure out what this gender game is.
Sure, right.
But I was just always kind of in it. I would steal my sister's. Well, I wouldn't steal, but my sister would have her makeup. She was probably like 10 years older than me.
Okay.
So she was already in high school or like young adult, and she was doing her makeup, and I would like, you know, use some of her black eyeliner. And,
Okay.
didn't have enough money for like a wig, or like I don't even think there were resources for wigs back then. So we were using like t-shirts or towels.
Got it.
I was very
towel.
creative. Yes, I had
Yeah.
like this black lace fringe shawl.
Okay.
It kind of was like a flamenco shawl. It had like fringe all on the trim, and I would ever so lovely like kind of topple it on my head to look kind of like a bun, but then it would have like these tendrils coming down. So it was giving a cute hair.
Okay. Okay. Good. Wonderful. Okay. Wonderful. So, since you were dabbling in your sister's makeup and tooling around at home and just doing all of that, I'm assuming that your parents and everyone was like supportive.
Oh no, they didn't even know. I was in
okay.
the bathroom every day for like 4 hours. We're like, what are you doing in the bathroom? I'm fully in drag.
Okay.
Just doing what I do for a living now, but there. It's kind of hilarious that I was manifesting that at such an early age. But yeah, I would play my music, put on a little candle, like lip sync to songs. And I didn't even know like what drag was. I never saw a drag show or anything, but it was like this innate thing that came out of me. That was like my therapy. Was really something I would like go to for myself. And no, my family didn't know anything about it.
Okay, so then that then leads me to ask then like, so were they supportive? Were they? Because I think also you did mention that you were Jehovah's Witness as well.
Yes. So I think they were as supportive as religion allows them to be, as organized religion sees fit. They definitely loved me, but it was definitely a sort of shame attached to the love that was hard for a child to comprehend when you're being told that, you know, love comes unconditionally, you know, family and all that. But then really people get really nervous if it's something they can't explain or something they don't know. But I'm a stubborn Leo, so I kind of just shoved it in my family's faces not even until they got it, until I stopped caring if they got it.
Yeah, I mean, when you are younger and you have your parents, you, from a young age, like you look up to them, you idolize them, you think that they can do absolutely no wrong, they're perfect, they have all the answers to all of life's questions.
And it's like safety.
Right.
At the end of the day, like you feel safe with your family, you feel safe with your parents because they are literally in charge of your well-being. But, you know, a lot of parents, I think, especially to queer kids, they think that they're providing enough with just like physical being there physically or you know the physical act of taking care, but really do fall short a lot of times when it comes to mental health. Just providing a safe space for people to feel different.
Right, and I think for queer kids specifically as well, like our parents that come from religious backgrounds, they think that they are doing the right thing by by you know trying to help you and protect you from this thing that they don't have any knowledge of.
Yeah.
So I definitely get where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
But in being a Leo, you're probably like, this is who I am. This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah, and if you want to like hang out and still be in my life, then you'll figure out what's enough for you to like want to be around me. But and if not,
yeah.
Clear the table.
Yeah.
Make room for another dish.
So you did say that you knew from a younger age that you were trans, but when was the turning point where you were like, okay, this is my full decision of being able to go all the way?
Definitely knew. Didn't know the vocab or what the protocol was until I met my drag mom, who's actually a trans woman, and many other trans women, trans people from Hawaii. And seeing that at like 16, 17 and seeing a realized idea of myself, and seeing that it could be achievable, seeing that you could, you know, look how you want to look, present how you want to present, and then like not be in harm's way or damaged. And like just being a fully realized trans person was around 16 or 17, and I immediately knew, but I waited till I graduated high school to be like, okay, I'm gonna activate now.
You're gonna be your fully
realized.
Your final evolution of your Pokemon journey.
Yes, yes. The level up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so when you did finally graduated from high school, you're about to move on. Did you start? So then, where did your journey go with like hair and makeup? Like, was all of your makeup like bigger? Was all of your wigs or hair just in general? Like, did you get longer? Like, was there a
Just
shift?
living for this hair, y'all. If you didn't know, I'm living for this hair. Well, in Hawaii, it's like very like the passable thing, especially in like the early 2000s. Like this is the first Y2K moment, and that was kind of minimal makeup.
Okay.
Not like it was called the local girl aesthetic. Like you have to be unclockable with no makeup, beautiful hair on the beach, and not have anybody spook you. Like that was the goal of like a Hawaii trans girl. So that was like my first thing, like no makeup, being really bronze. I definitely played with a lot of hair color. I was actually working at a salon in high school, so I was dabbling in like pinks and like platinum blonde when I lived in Hawaii. I always wanted to be the opposite of wherever I was. If everyone had dark hair and was like tan, I would be platinum blonde. Just to be the opposite. But I definitely loved like rock and roll vibes, like, you know, this like kind of messy grungy look. Yeah, and it was really inspired by like people like Gwen Stefani and Pink, like that era when it was like, that's when I was first kind of finding my first woman incarnation.
Yeah. I can literally see it now. You like on the beach with your natural wavy hair, just like serving. I'm sure it, like, I fully see it and I love it. Obviously, once you like add the makeup and the hair, it does become like a full different version of yourself. So since you started at like a very like natural state of being a trans woman, when do you think you kind of transitioned into this like full makeup, full like outfit, like all of that kind of whole aesthetic?
I mean, it definitely is a sign of the times, because I mean, a couple years ago, no, like if you're like wearing a full beat, it wasn't really, it was like, what are you doing? Nowadays, it's like if you don't have a lash on in LA, it's like, are you okay? Do you need help? Very true. So it's like kind of like it's a lot more fun to play, especially in somewhere like LA where all the girls are painted, all the girls like want to be, you know, that ultra glam aesthetic. I sometimes have to like travel to other cities and be like, oh, maybe the whole full out isn't like even still to this day like accepted everywhere. So I feel like it's regional. But that's why I live in LA.
I mean, LA is where.
So we get to do this. But my favorite look is like going to like the dispensaries here in LA and seeing the girls who are like fully made up with these nails,
full glam,
the lashes, a unit installed with their boyfriend sweats on. Like that is tea.
No, fully, which is it's such a paradox too, because you would think that it would be the other way around.
Fully glam but comfortable.
Which, you know what, I'm into it.
If you're gonna have leisure wear, at least be glam.
Whatever. It is what it is. People are always on their own journey. So when you did pageants, was that then at the time when you would get in like full glam?
Yeah. I feel like for drag, especially as a trans woman doing drag, like there definitely has to be a difference between your drag makeup and your everyday life. Going out to dinner makeup. So finding that balance with trends is always an evolution, and that's the great thing about beauty and makeup.
It's always changing.
Always changing, especially now. It's like rapid trends. It's like 7 trends a day. You know? So I'm really into like being able to like still grow, still move, so trying to find different shapes to your eye or your face.
So that kind of leads us into our next little segue. In present day, being who you are. So you being Sasha Colby, you've made yourself into this icon now, and the queer LGBTQ community really looks up to you and thinks of you as someone who's like honestly a legend at this point. Literally mother. So in being so many people's mothers, do you give, like, I'm sure since you are a mother, you give them lots of critiques or try and help them out?
You know,
Or do you let them be on their own journey?
see, like with my kids, I treat them like how I want to be treated, and it's not a hands-off approach, but it's I can't really tell you who you are.
Right.
You know, like it's a journey for both of us to find, especially with like girls. Some of my kids who want to do performances, or some of the kids that have transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's very I let you figure it out.
Sure.
If I need to like fine tune or give you some helpful advice that I didn't know, I'll always do that. But I definitely don't. I'm not very hard on the kids.
That's good.
I think some kids want that. They want like not me like reading them or anything, but like
Right.
they want like advice, they want feedback, and I say to that like drag, especially if they're starting drag, like drag is constant, and it's you have to perfect it in front of an audience. You have to do trial and error. So there's never going to be a moment, and I guess this is kind of life too, with drag, but you're never there. You like never going to be perfect or at this finish line. It's a constant growth, and that's the fun part.
Right. So with your kids, do you like in a hands-off way? Do you tell them like that lace line? You gotta move it down.
Yes, for sure. Like I'd be like, okay, you ready? You ready for it? Okay, so we're gonna go down. I'll tell you what's up. And I love that they can take critique.
Good.
Which means that they value my opinion, and that's why they call me mother. So I definitely don't like to put anyone down. Like I'll find, even when I would judge like pageants, I would find constructive criticism or a way to see what they were doing, amplify it. It's the creative process should be fun.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially too when you are becoming or whatever, like you should at the end of it feel beautiful and brand new and
like,
a new version of yourself.
Always like give yourself like a little like be nicer to yourself. Be kinder in the process. Like oh I hate the way I look, or like oh this is awful. Like just be a little nicer to oneself, and that helps too.
Right. There's so many, like you said as well, there's so many different variations in trends in beauty in general, and there's always different things that you can take on. So I guess my next question to you would be so in Hair Queen LA, we have a lot of just girls that come in, you know what I mean? But we really also admire our LGBTQ plus community that comes in as well. What advice or words do you have to them that would like just better their experience in trying to better themselves or transform or become their better versions of themselves?
Well, to the LGBT queer community that is here already at Hair Queen LA, you're on the right track. So you're doing it good now. Just remember how you feel when you leave here, how the staff and the people who put you to your goddess self or like your higher self, remember that feeling and take that with you at all times. And also like remember how they treated you and treat yourself like that. Because sometimes we always have to remind ourselves to pamper ourselves. Our mental health is very important, especially as queer individuals in this political time, very unsettling. So we have to take care of our mental health as much as we take care of our physical artifice.
Wonderful answer. And then what would you say to the kids, or not even kids, maybe even adults, full adults that are just very unsure about like even dipping their toe in, you know what I mean? I feel like masculinity at this point is so fragile that even if they're afraid to literally put on a wig that's like from Party City just for fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which means you probably put it on before.
So
it's like, I don't know, people who are scared in 2023 after a world pandemic and so much uprise, it's kind of funny if you're scared to just be silly and be yourself. You're not going to catch it. Don't worry. But really, it's like dance like no one's watching, and live today like it might be your last. Like that's one thing I always remember hearing from a lot of older queer individuals, meeting with them at different events, is that they wish they weren't they didn't have regrets when you're, you know, like, oh, I wish I just did it, or I wish I didn't care. I wish I was so much more free. Because then you realize how fleeting life is if you don't kind of stop and smell the roses.
Truly, truly. And I feel like as we get older, time is only moving quicker. You're
so
losing
fast.
time. Yeah.
So fast, and we're getting slower.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, well, those were wonderful answers. I kind of want to shift gears a little bit.
Cool.
And I want to talk about the iconic ponytail. I feel like you have claimed the long ponytail that you whip. I just want to know, for my own personal self, like, what does the ponytail do for you? Like, how does it make you feel powerful? Because that is really like a staple in like your performances. You know what I mean?
Well, mind you, I sewed the ponytail myself. So she is also doing that because I know what I need for the ponytail to be correct.
Sure.
But for me, it's like kitten with a whip, and that's my whip. So it's like my like if you're going to like a video game and you get all your tools, like that's my tool that I know it's gonna work every time. I'm known for actually using my own hair normally. Like I usually have like very long hair.
Oh wow.
But then like in my short era.
Okay.
But that was my thing of always like whipping my hair, and I just it's kind of easier for like a drag effect. One, I like to feel snatched because that just looks always better, and I can still have my hair moments and all my hair tricks with a much more condensed, you know, cleaner line for drag. Where sometimes it'll just look like mopey if I just have my regular hair, and that's like for every day, you know.
Right. You know when the ponytail in, the performance is about to eat down.
When the ponytail is snatched and the thigh highs are on, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And like I feel like not all queens have a signature. Like you have Trixie who has the blonde. You know what I mean? You have Laganja who every now and then will do like a Grinch green color. Yeah. And so the ponytail is like just so iconic to everyone, honestly. So I saw this video of you from your Miss Continental 2012.
Yes.
And the question they asked you was, where do you see your future? And you so gracefully answered that, first of all, Miss Continental isn't my future, it's already mine. But you also went on to say, which I thought was great, like, you can't look back at the past, and we're only living in the present right now, and the future you're fully able to create for yourself.
Yeah.
And so it was just so true, and I love that answer. So I'm going to re-ask you the same question about what you see for your future.
Oh my goodness. Like 10 years later now.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I remember it was you can't decide your future on your past, or you can't base your life on your past or present. Tell me about your future. And I said there that my past and present has always been with Miss Continental, so my future has to be Miss Continental. That's my purpose. And I'm gonna heart the same sentiment with where I am now. My future has to be whatever I visualize, because it's already happened, like you said. You know. Yeah, I see some amazing things in the future.
Okay.
I see a lot of greatness. Not even just with like RuPaul's Drag Race, but the opportunity that Drag Race brings. So many girls who haven't even won, you know, they get to be of such influence. So that's the most exciting thing.
Lovely. And for our final little send-off, I just want to thank you again for your time. You are a class act. You are so humble and just beautiful and just talented performer. Lady Gaga, talented, amazing, never been done before. All of the things, you know what I mean? And I really appreciate it. You know, thank you again for coming. And so where can we find you on social media?
So if you want to just keep up to date with whatever Sasha Colby is doing, please just follow my Instagram. And I'm always updating that. Always watch the stories. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect. Well, I wish you the very, very best on your Drag Race journey. Like I said, you're a front runner. I'm rooting for you. I hope you win. That would be iconic. So yeah, thank you for coming here.
So much, thank you all.
And again, this is Sasha Colby, and my name is Nathan. You can follow me also on Instagram at NathanKatz, the same as TikTok. And visit hairqueenla.com if you want to shop our wigs. We also accept same-day walk-ins and same-day installations if you wanted to browse all of our selections. And you too can order online. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day.